Situated along the rails, the Mississippi River, and a state road, Fountain City, Wisconsin is forever destined to be a place passed through.
There's a lot of them that go by here.
Yet perhaps the biggest commotion in Fountain City history was caused by the visitor that dropped in and stayed.
It's about 16 feet tall and about 5 feet wide.
John and Frances Burt are unofficial historians of the limestone boulder marking its 10th anniversary in the former home of Dwight and Maxine Anderson.
This was their master bedroom, and the rock is right on top of their bed.
A 55-ton deposit from the river bluffs,
These rocks,
500 feet above.
and that's where it come out of.
A home in Fountain City, Wisconsin will probably never be the same.
The story was news for miles around back then.
Okay, yeah, see the rock?
Reporters explaining how Maxine Anderson, who'd been inches from death in the very next room, wanted nothing to do with cameras that April day, nor with her house from that moment on.
The bedroom's completely destroyed because that's where it landed.
With the Andersons fleeing and the spectators arriving, it didn't take long for the entrepreneurial Burts
Got to be a little nutty, I guess.
to spot a business opportunity.
It happened April 24th, and we signed a purchase agreement May 15th, and we opened up for business Memorial Weekend.
Can we walk up to that rock? That is just huge.
Frances and John gave $35,000 for the house at 440 North Shore Drive.
Her bed's still under there.
Then at $1 a look,
Oh my goodness.
gave Fountain City
Unbelievable.
a rock star.
This is something else.
There was people up here, and it was on the news, so they just kept coming.
22,000 people saw the rock that first year. So many cars lined up, the police came just to keep the traffic moving.
We were on the Today Show, I think that same day when the People magazine came out, so those two things together really brought the people out.
This is Andy's chainsaw that the rock demolished.
Like two Gallaghers endowed with a 55-ton sledgehammer,
This was part of a chair.
Frances and John became purveyors of the squished.
There's a lawn chair that was sitting out in the back, and there was a bag of aluminum cans on it. The cans are still hanging to the chair.
But just as time can bring a boulder down from a bluff,
Andy's shoes got it too.
as the years passed, interest in their rock began eroding too.
Up to a couple years ago, we usually had somebody every day, but last year and this year, you get, a rainy day, you probably have one person or nobody.
The Burts are first to admit they've been lax on the advertising, but how many billboards could they afford with $1 admissions?
I think a lot of the buses around here, they go more for the casinos now.
Once they could barely keep up with the tours.
Ooh.
Now there are days they wait hours between visitors. And more days, they simply leave the house unattended, hoping those who can't be trusted to pay their dollar
Empty.
will at worst steal a look.
I mean, what's $1?
Yeah.
Recently, vandals have left their mark on the house too.
We should turn it over to the city, I guess, but I don't think they'd want it.
So why not just take out the rock, bulldoze the house, and close the books on what's become a money-losing business?
Now, what grades are these?
Because all it takes is for a bus or a car to pull up.
She thought it was thunder.
And Frances and John are reminded all over again.
It came down, rolling down just like a wheel.
This
And
is
so there
something
was a lot of
people
dirt on it.
ought
Yes,
to
it
see.
is. So this is the bedroom, so you can go out there and look all around.
Oh my gosh. It's huge.
We can't let them take that rock out.
That's right there. See the pillows?
It was part of Fountain City history, and if somebody bought it and took the rock out, that history would be gone.
Ready?
Yep.
John likes to say the rock must be holy. So many people have seen it and said, oh my God.
Oh my God. Smooth on this side, but then it's rough over here.
But whether an act of God or of nature, a rolling rock landed in the perfect hands.
We just wanted people to have fun.
It doesn't look 13 feet high.
So pass by if you must. Just don't expect to find another roadside attraction in the land of 10,000 stories with this much bang
75-ton rock.
for a buck.
It's a big rock.